we'll do some discussion about our experiments and other questions. So can everybody just show your name and do a short introduction of yourself, please? Maybe we can start from Sunya.
Hi everybody, I'm Sunya. I'm from MNU Media and I'm very happy to meet you guys.
Okay. Hi, I'm Leo. I study management.
Hi, I'm Beijing Guo. I study advanced mechanical engineering. Thanks.
Hi, my name is Go Jun. I'm from Hong Kong. I'm studying mathematics.
Hello everyone, my name is Shen Liang. I'm from this law school. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Pan Xuqiao. I'm studying electronic engineering and renewable energy systems.
Hi, my name is Chi and I'm studying performance design.
My name is Gloria. I'm studying financial risk management.
My name is Barry and I'm studying electrical engineering.
Hi, I'm Jimmy. I'm studying media.
Okay, so in this section we will have 3 parts, and in the first part we'll ask you to exchange your thoughts and what you are doing just then in the experiment. Sorry. Before this part, I'll tell you some notice that you should know. Since we'll do some discussion, so there's no right answer. You can just speak out your opinions, and if you have different opinions, just express freely and please don't whisper. And if the question is really hard for you to answer, you can just keep silence. You can listen to others, and if you have the answer later, you can tell everybody. And in order to control the time and complete all the questions, I might interrupt you when you're speaking, so apologize. So can you exchange your thoughts in the previous experiments, like what you're doing and how you feel? Yeah. Want to be the first to talk?
About the article.
Whatever you want to share. You can just describe what you're doing, and you can also share your views about it.
Because these 2 groups have slightly different about what they're doing, so maybe you could find during your chatting, you can find what's the difference, and maybe that would be a bit enlightening.
Okay. What we read is about Weibo development, about violence, homosexuals, about this message on the Weibo. Yeah, we read about that. How about yours?
So we read new about Sina Weibo, and they make some rules to abandon these people, some people to present their topics about I'm gay and some kind of that news. So people feel very angry about that and stand up to fight for their rights about LGBT's rights and other things. Yeah.
That's it.
Topic is the same.
Yeah. What do you feel about that?
I'm just confused about why Chinese authorities do they hate homosexual? I just think about it.
I guess we have the same topic, but we have a previous question about this article about how often do you read and what type of reading materials you choose. So I'm still wondering what the relation with the previous question and the reading material.
I think maybe because you read a lot and you prefer like news about that, so you can find some more message about the Weibo.
So is it about reading speed or?
I think it depends on how many messages you can get weekly, or so you can show your opinion depends on how many you read, like that. Yeah, if you read nothing but you always show your opinion, maybe others will to believe you.
So, time is limited. So, actually, there's a little tips for you because half of you read these articles on the computer and half of you read on paper. So this is the difference. So can you imagine, will there be any difference if you read the article by the other ways? Like, who read this article on paper? Yeah. If you read this on computers, will there be any difference?
I think the computer is more convenient for you because if you find some materials need to have a further study, you can just search on the internet, and when you read on the paper, I think you just read the contents on the paper, and if you want more things to read, you need to use the computer.
Okay. So for who's used computers, will there be any difference if you read these articles on paper?
Because I had an exam, IELTS exam on computer, so I prefer read articles on paper. Yeah, never try it again. Yeah, and if on computer is easily to translation because you just copy and paste it. But on paper you can easily find which line you read and highlight it. So if I can manage this language, so I prefer read on paper. If not, I will want to translate or copy it. I prefer read it on computer.
Okay. So let's move to part 2. And in this part, I'll show you a place on the street map. And do you know where is this?
Parkinson building?
Yeah. And what's the difference between you see the Parkinson building on the Google Street Map and in your memories, like in the reality?
No difference.
It's a view. It's a view. It's too small in the computer. You have to move
Yeah.
it.
Actually, in the reality, we won't stand on the in the front of the street to view Parkinson building, but this let us have a chance to just stand in the middle of the road.
Okay, so
And I think through the internet it looks more beautiful.
Less people.
yeah. So to what extent do you think the street map is similar to your own visual experience?
So when you just see the map, you can just send pictures of the Parkinson building, and when you are here, you can hear some sounds, and it is more easy for you to know where you are because if you're near the specific shop, and you know that it is near the Parkinson building and know my location.
Okay. So do you think the companies make the maps more like your vision?
Yeah.
Yeah. So why do the companies try to make the maps more like your vision?
So maybe it can help us to more easier to find the location, and it's easier for us to try to find our destination.
Maybe I need to step here because people in this in this side just keep silence. And yeah, do you think there is any benefit that the companies try to make the maps more like your vision? Do you want the companies make the maps more like your vision or not?
Yes, of course.
Sure.
As long as it can help me to find the location.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if you've never been to there, if just on the normal map, you can't find where is it really like, especially when you're walking there on or what. And in my experience, I just remember a particular place, but I want to find a shop near it. So what can I do? I can just use the street map to find it. I can even find their telephone number on it. Yeah, and just dial it. Yeah, it's really helped me.
Okay, thank you. And now we'll move to the part 3 and for some general questions. So you can share and discuss your experience and opinions. And the first question is, will you feel that, well, it's a technology, or you feel that there's a kind of technology behind the items when you use something? In which conditions?
I think normally I will feel the technology when I play with the virtual reality.
Mm-hmm. And what else?
Like when you read the materials on the website, on the PDF form, for example, some kind of electro dictionary will, like you put your mouth on the word and it will pop out the translation. So I think more technology.
Okay. So
I think that artificial intelligence makes me have this kind of feeling because it just modernized human beings' reaction to different things, and which makes me feel amazing. Yeah.
okay. So let's move to the next questions. And what digital devices do you use in your daily lives?
Devices, mobile phone.
iPad.
Laptop?
What else?
Camera.
Okay, so let's move to the next question. And will you consider a lot about the technical functions when you buy electric products?
Sure. For men.
For everyone, maybe.
Most part, I think, for men. Maybe women like, okay, it looks like good, but sometimes.
Yeah. How many of you will consider a lot about the technical functions? Just put your hand, please. Okay. And let's move to the next questions. And can you describe your conception about this technology in your own words?
So I think technology is to help us to reduce work time, and maybe can through this technology we can have more fun and more convenient.
I think technology is knowledge. It's just change the knowledge to a real thing. Yeah, and change your life.
And what else?
I think technology is some kind of tool or ways to make our lives better and maybe improve our work efficiency.
Mm-hmm. And does anyone have other answers?
I think the technology is just to solve some problems. So for example, if we want to have a transnational trade and without communication technology we can't do it. So it's just to solve the issues.
Okay. So the next question is, what kinds of technology do you prefer to use?
What means kinds of technology?
Like easy to use or more functional or something like that?
Okay, for me, maybe WeChat Pay, yeah, Alipay.
Mhm.
Yeah, just scan your QR code to pay to others. Yeah.
So you mean you like the things that easy to use or convenient to use?
Yeah, just the saving time. I needed to give them my note and got some change. Just yeah, no change. Yeah, easy, busy.
Does anyone have a different opinion, like you don't need to use the easy things, you need it to be like more functional or more professional? Okay, so does that means, or you think that technology should be easy to use?
Yeah, and it should be user-friendly.
Mhm.
Yeah, for most of the people.
Especially for the elderly. So if they cannot use very high technology, so just for easy to use, they can use these devices. 跟上手怎么说
Friendly.
friendly. Yeah.
Can you use some different terms to describe the technology that you want to use? Maybe like warm or friendly or close or something.
I
Just
think
little
the
terms.
technology can have many functions or beautiful or very high tech, but I think the basic thing is it's need to be more easy to use. So otherwise people may not. I think nowadays people will not have that much time to focus on how to use it or how to make it more. I mean, people may not concentrate on waste their time to use it. So I think the basic thing is to make it more easy.
Okay. So the next question is, can you describe the sense of technology with some terms? Like, if you feel this kind of things have the sense of technology, like, do you feel it's cool or not, or something, some other terms of it?
I think maybe first use metal and have sharp shape or different shape to make it like space shape or what. Yeah, it's where me feel more technology and use new technologies like virtual reality or 3D to control it, to feel it. I think is give me the sense of technology.
Okay. So the next question is, what do you think when you heard the sentence "technology is disappearing"?
I think it means that all the human beings are totally immersed into the technology, and maybe they even can't find the technologies around us because they are totally into it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Does anyone have further ideas of the technology is disappearing? Because technology is everywhere now, why is it disappearing?
I agree with her. Everything is technology. You used to it, you can feel it. Just like that. Just like we can see the air, but it is always around us. Yeah.
Okay.
So I think this is mean technology devices trying to make us feel more real. Not when I touch something like a laptop, I immediately feel, oh, this is technology. This is some kind of not that real. We want to feel the technology is, well, be like our daily life.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, is there anyone don't agree with the sentence?
I think it's just impossible to disappearing. So the technology is just a term for the specific period. If in the 1,000 years ago, maybe the web made Mastodon is a kind of technology. So for us, the laptop and the mobile phone is a part of our daily life. It is not a product of technology. It's just a product, I think.
Okay. So the last question is, do you think technology is being closer to your life or away from it? Why?
Obviously, it's closer.
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 So I also think it's closer to our life because the development rate of technology is very quick. So the devices may be more smaller and more. It's not very easy for us to find these devices, but they actually help us to make the life more convenient. So I think the technology is being closer.
Okay, so yeah, congratulations, you finished this part.